YouTube, hello, this is iltisine, and the game that you see behind me is Foundry. I'm going to put a few definitions up on screen as I go through the type of game that this is, because there's a few things that I'm not sure if everyone knows, and I just want to be clear with what I'm saying. I'm going to get these definitions off of Google, so I am hoping that they are correct, and we'll go from there. This is an automation, base building, sandbox game set in a procedurally generated voxel world. I think I got that correct. We'll see. In Foundry, you build a factory. It is not the first game of this type either. To name a few, there's also Tectonica, Astro Colony, Evo Space. Those are just some of the other examples. And then I do want to give a little spoiler warning for the future. There are going to be a couple of buildings that I show off in this video that, if you are interested in playing the game, they stand out and they're very unique. And they may kind of give some spoilers. It's not a ton of story, but I just want to get that out there ahead of time so that we are clear on that. I'm going to get right into it, and I'll come back in the game and show off the first one right after this. The first building that I want to show off in this video that I think is unique to Foundry is an elevator. One of the problems in factory games that you often have to solve is how to go out and find new resources and bring them back to your base so that you can process them and turn them into things that you can automate and use for research or production in your base. This game, once you scan the map, will reveal where the resources are. They do use alternative names, but it's basically the same common resources that you see in a lot of factory games. I will put a list on screen now if I remember to. Xenoferrite is effectively iron, Technomore is effectively copper, things like that. It will also show you on the map the level of how far down the ore is when you're looking at it. So you can see the height of this Technomore is about 97 meters. Our current height is about 135 meters. The elevator will let us get down to that level pretty much automatically. Once you put the building down and you come into the configuration tool, you can add a station and send it to whatever level you would like to. I'm going to name this just ore level for the purposes of this video, and I'm going to confirm that. Once you confirm the level that you want to send it to, you can hear it in the background there. It will start automatically constructing a pathway to get down there. It shows you on screen how far it has made it as well. And then if you come out and look, you can actually see the process going on down at the bottom. That is how you get down personally. There's also a freight elevator that comes in either top or bottom variety. Top is for what you're bringing the ore up to. The bottom would be down where you're getting the ore and bringing it up, assuming you're going down to get the ore. I'm going to build one of these in the back over here as well, and this is destroying the block below it. You see that it has these blue lines going down into the ground. That is going to appear underground as well, so that we know where to put the base. We are just about finished off with the actual elevator here. I'm going to click the ore level button that we made, and it's going to take us down there. And then I'm going to get ready for once we get down, because we're going to have a lot of stone on the lower levels that we have to get rid of. There is a drill tool and another tool later in the game that lets you mine through this piece by piece. I'm going to go a slightly quicker route. This is my favorite way of mining as far as attempting to get to a place that I know of and I don't need the resources that I'm picking, or that I would be picking up here. I'm not just revealing the blue lines for the freight elevator, I also want to reveal the ore to you, and it should be just over here. There it is. So we are at about the level of where the ore is. I was pretty correct with that. You can see this is the Technum ore. It's the node that is on the map. And then I'm going to build the bottom of the freight elevator. I'm going to put this at the same level as our personal elevator. And once that is done, you'll see the blue lines stop going down below it anymore. And I have the jetpack, it's a little bit faster, so I'm just going to go up beside the personal elevator, because I wanted to show you that the freight elevator is also digging down as well. We'll dig all the way down to that bottom level, and then you can bring things into and out of the freight elevator at different levels as well. It does have the same speed as the belt of 320 items per minute. And then I'm going to show you a couple of these that are actually in use in another area of my base in just one moment. So to show you an example of how I'm moving materials with the elevators in kind of larger amounts, there is a node of igneum ore here that you see on screen. I am underground currently, and I have miners going all around it. These are going directly onto belts that are going into the freight elevators at the bottom, and you can actually see inside the items moving up. I do want to point out the freight elevator level 1 is the same level as the belts that I have that have been there too. I am only about 40 hours into the game, and I know I mentioned the speed in the last part. I would assume that changes with the next level of the belts, as well as the next level of the elevator. And then going to the top of these elevators, you can see that I'm using loaders to bring the materials back out, put them on belts, and they go out to my base. I'm going to talk about the other building that I wanted to present in this video after this. There's another building that I want to show off that kind of changes the scale of the game. There's a certain technology on the research tree called construction industry that unlocks these buildings. It begins with the construction warehouse, the construction ship port, and the transport ship ports. Those are the three that we're really worried about here. Up until this point of the game, Foundry does a really good job at keeping the building sizes relatively small. They start to get slightly larger, but everything is manageable from this first-person perspective that you're in within the game. And it does a really good job of keeping it to where you can build everything, line things up, and not worry too much about the scale of the buildings you're getting into. That eventually changes. And eventually the building gets much larger. This is the construction warehouse that you see in front of me now. It is just absolutely massive. 31 blocks by 21 blocks width and length there. And it does have a couple of ports on the top. These are for the drone buildings that you put down. These are the components that I think make up the what really sets Foundry apart in my mind. You have your transport ship port that will pick up goods from that warehouse and deliver it to where you're building a modular building. And then you've got the construction ship port here that will actually send or head out and build that modular building. You can see on the side of these, there are little drones hanging down. I have a radio tower base here that I'm going to begin to hook up. I don't want to make this video about modular buildings, how to set any of this up. I just want to give you an example of what this brings to the automation genre. I'm going to click this together really quickly, and I want to actually show you some of what it does once you have a construction going here. You'll see it requires 5100 construction material, and it does give you a construction progress meter there. The transport drones, once you get the modular building set, will all rise up into the sky. They do have to go all the way to the top level of what you can even get to in the sky. And they go down to the construction warehouse from there. You can see that all happening on screen. It is nighttime, but it's not too dark in this game. They did pretty well with that as well. They slide down into one of the open ports, presumably. They pick up goods that are needed for this construction. That's something else that you automate down the line. And once they get those up into the sky, they come over the modular building that you have going. We'll see in just a moment. They just drop the goods right on top of it. This is how all construction materials get delivered, if you did not know, actually. You can see them going all the way down. Once the materials are there, the construction drones will actually start coming over as well. These are the yellow ships that you see in the sky. They'll have their own lights. Once they get near the building, over top of where they are going to be doing that construction, all of the little yellow robots come off the sides and they go down and start welding the building together. It is a pretty cool way to do massive construction projects in an automation game. It is extremely unique. I have not seen this in another automation game before, at least. If you have seen anything like this, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what game I'm missing out there. And you could actually tell, too, while the building is being done, how much of the construction material has been delivered. It looks like it's delivering about 250 per transport ship. You can tell how much of the construction process is done and how many ship ports are assigned to it. Gives you all the information that you need for all of that. And then I'm going to sit here and watch it build. And I'll show you the final building in just a moment as well, in case you want to see that. I really love the automation genre. Factory games, everything from Factorio, Dyson Sphere Program, Satisfactory. I get excited when I see new games coming up, and I get really excited when I see new ideas in those games, because it means it's bringing something new to the genre that wasn't there yet, and that just gives more options and new ways to do things. These construction drones, the construction warehouse, and the modular buildings, this entire system is something no other automation game has right now. And I was a little on the fence about Foundry beforehand. It was a good game, but nothing was too drastically different from other automation games up until this point. And there are other things that you do with these ships in the game as well. This is not the only process that uses these. And I am excited to see what else the game has in store for us. And I was curious. Have you played Foundry? Have you gotten to this part yet? If you haven't gone and bought Foundry and started to play it, what's holding you back from playing the game? And then, if you do want to know anything more about either Foundry or myself in general, I have links down below. I do stream on Twitch. You can find me live there, usually 3 days a week. I'm currently playing through Foundry, so if you're seeing this video anytime recently after posting, you can find me live on Twitch generally. And have a great day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below if you want to come back for more. I just finished the subscribe down below if you want to come back for more. It was kind of inopportune timing. I wanted to show off what the building looked like when it was done, and I did say I was going to. So the construction ships are just leaving now, and you have this extremely massive building that you have now built in a game that is a radio tower. You don't have to build it this big. I don't actually know what the benefit of going all the way up with it is, but again, not a tutorial on modular buildings. I just think it is really unique and wanted to show it off. But it also, you would blah 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 blah. Fuck. You can watch the process from the side generally as well. So if you look down, I'm gonna just record this again. This is trash. Alright, let's try that one more time. In these factory games, one of the things that you typically have to do is actually go around and mine out resources. So we're running through.